So hello everyone, in this audio class we will read the chapter number 5 secondary activities from the book Fundamentals of Human Geography textbook NCERT Geography class 12. So let's get started with chapter number 5 secondary activities. All economic activities, namely primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary, revolve around obtaining and utilizing resources necessary for survival. Secondary activities add value to natural resources by transforming raw materials into valuable products. Cotton in the ball has a limited use, but after it is transformed into yarn becomes more valuable and can be used for making clothes. Iron ore cannot be used directly from the mines, but after being converted into steel, it gets its value and can be used for making many valuable machines, tools, etc. The same is true of most of the materials from the farm, forest, mine and the sea. Secondary activities therefore are concerned with manufacturing, processing and construction or infrastructure industries. Next point is manufacturing. Manufacturing involves a full array of production from handicrafts to molding iron and steel and stamping out plastic toys to assembling delicate computer components or space vehicles. In each of these processes, the common characteristics are the application of power, mass production of identical products and specialized labor in factory settings for the production of standardized commodities. Manufacturing may be done with modern power and machinery, or it may be very primitive. Most of the third world countries still manufacture in the literal sense of the term. It is difficult to present a full picture of all manufacturers in these countries. More emphasis is given to the kind of industrial activity which involves less complicated systems of production. Next point is characteristics of modern large-scale manufacturing. So, modern large-scale manufacturing has the following characteristics. First is specialization of skills or methods of production. Under the craft method, factories produce only a few pieces which are made to order to the cost, so the costs are high. On the other hand, mass production involves production of large quantities of standardized parts by each worker performing only one task repeatedly. There is a box manufacturing industry and manufacturing industry. Manufacturing literally means to make by hand. However, now it includes goods made by machines. It is essentially a process which involves transforming raw materials into finished goods for higher value for sale in local or distant markets. Conceptually, an industry is a geographically located manufacturing unit maintaining books of accounts and records under a management system. As the term industry is comprehensive, it is also used as synonymous with manufacturing. When one uses terms like steel industry and chemical industry, one thinks of factories and processes. But there are many secondary activities which are not carried on in factories, such as what is now called the entertainment industry and tourism industry, etc. So, for clarity, the longer expression manufacturing industry is used. Next point is mechanization. So, mechanization refers to use gadgets which accomplish tasks. Automation or without aid of human thinking during manufacturing process is the advanced stage of mechanization. Automation factories with feedback and closed loop computer control systems where machines are developed to think have sprung up all over the world. Next is technological innovation. Technological innovations through research and development strategy are an important aspect of modern manufacturing for quality control, eliminating waste and inefficiency and combating pollution. Next point is organizational structure and stratification. Modern manufacturing is characterized by a complex machine technology and extreme specialization and division of labor for producing more goods with less efforts and low costs. It also requires vast capital, large organizations and executive bureaucracy for a large-scale manufacturing industry. Next is uneven geographic distribution. So major concentrations of modern manufacturing have flourished in a few number of places. These cover less than 10% of the world's land area. These nations have become the centers of economic and political power. However, in terms of total area covered, manufacturing sites are much less conspicuous and concentrated on much smaller areas than that of agriculture due to greater intensity of processes. For example, 2.5 square kilometer of American corn belt usually include about 4 large farms employing about 10 to 20 workers supporting 50 to 100 persons. But the same area could contain several large integrated factories and employ thousands of workers. Industries maximize profit by reducing cost. Therefore, industries should be located at points where the production costs are minimum. So, the factors influencing industrial locations are as under. First is access to market. The existence of a market for manufactured goods is the most important factor in the location of industries. Market means people who have demand for these goods and also have the purchasing power or ability to purchase to be able to purchase from the sellers at a place. Remote areas inhabited by a few people offer small markets. The developed regions of Europe, North America, Japan and Australia provide large global markets as the purchasing power of the people is very high. The densely populated regions of South and Southeast Asia also provide large markets. Some industries such as aircraft manufacturing have global market. The arms industry also has global markets. Next is access to raw material. Raw material used by industries should be cheap and easy to transport. Industries based on cheap, bulky and weight-losing materials or ores are located close to the sources of raw materials such as steel, sugar, cement industries. Perishability is a vital factor for the industry to be located closer to the source of raw material. Agro-processing and dairy products are processed close to the source of farm produce or milk supply respectively. Next is access to labor supply. Labor supply is an important factor in the location of industries. Some types of manufacturing still require skilled labor. Increasing mechanization, automation and flexibility of industrial processes have reduced the dependence of industry upon the laborers. Next is access to sources of energy. Industries which use more power are located close to the source of energy supply such as aluminium industry. Earlier, coal was the main source of energy. Today, hydroelectricity and petroleum are also important sources of energy for many industries. Next is access to transportation and communication facilities. Speedy and efficient transportation facilities to carry raw materials to the factory and to move finished goods to the markets are essential for the development of industries. The cost of transport plays an important role in the location of industrial units. Western Europe and Eastern North America have a highly developed transport system which has always induced concentration of industries in these areas. Modern industries inseparably tied to transportation system. Improvements in transportation lead to integrated economic development and regional specialization of manufacturing. Communication is also an important need for industries for the exchange and management of information. Next is government policy. Governments adopt regional policies to promote balanced economic development and hence set up industries in particular areas. Next is access to agglomeration economies or links between industries. So many industries benefit from nearness to the leader industry and other industries. These benefits are termed as agglomeration economies. Savings are derived from the linkages which exist between different industries. These factors operate together to determine industrial location. Next is footloose industries. Footloose industries can be located in a wide variety of places. They are not dependent on any specific raw material, weight losing or otherwise. They largely depend on component parts which can be obtained anywhere. They produce in small quantity and also employ a small labor force. These are generally not polluting industries. The important factor in their location is accessibility by road network. Next point is classification of manufacturing industries. Manufacturing industries are classified on the basis of their size, input or raw materials, output or products and ownership. Next is industries based on size. The amount of capital invested, number of workers employed and volume of production determine the size of industry. Accordingly, industries may be classified into household or cottage or small scale and large scale. Next is classification of industries based on size, that is cottage or household, small scale and large scale. Based on inputs or raw materials, industries can be bifurcated into agri-based, mineral-based, chemical-based, forest-based, animal-based. So agro-based, which are agro-based? Sugar, edible oil, cotton textile, coffee, tea, rubber, etc. Mineral-based can be divided into two parts, metallic and non-metallic. Metallic again is divided into two parts, ferrous and non-ferrous. Iron and steel is ferrous and non-ferrous, copper, aluminum, gems and jewelry, and non-metallic are cement and pottery industries. So chemical-based industries are petrochemical, plastics, synthetic fibers, salts, chemicals, fertilizers, etc. Next is forest-based, timber, lac, turpentine, paper, etc. Next is animal-based, leather, wool, etc. Next is output classification of industries based on product or the output. So basic and consumer goods. Basic is iron and steel industry. Consumer goods are biscuits, textiles, vehicles, cars, scooters, cycles, etc. Next is based on ownership, that is industries can be public sector, private sector and joint sector industries. Next point is household industries or the cottage manufacturing. So let's get started. It is the smallest manufacturing unit. The artisans use local raw materials and simple tools to produce everyday goods in their homes with the help of their family members or part-time labor. Finished products may be for consumption in the same household or for sale in the local markets or for barter. Capital and transportation do not wield much influence as this type of manufacturing has low commercial significance and most of tools are devised locally. Some common everyday products produced in this sector of manufacturing include foodstuffs, fabrics, mats, containers, tools, furniture, shoes and figurines from woodlot and forest, shoes, thongs and other articles from leather, pottery and bricks from clays and stones. Goldsmiths make jewelry of gold, silver and bronze. Some artifacts and crafts are made out of bamboo, wood obtained locally from the forests. Next is small scale manufacturing. So small scale manufacturing is distinguished from household industries by its production techniques and place of manufacture, a workshop outside the home or cottage of the producer. This type of manufacturing uses local raw material and simple power-driven machines and semi-skilled labor. It provides employment and raises local purchasing power. Therefore, countries like India, China, Indonesia and Brazil, etc. have developed labor-intensive small-scale manufacturing in order to provide employment to their population. Large-scale manufacturing. Large scale manufacturing. Large scale manufacturing involves a large market, various raw materials, enormous energy, specialized workers, advanced technology, assembly line, mass production, and large capital. This kind of manufacturing developed in the last 200 years in the United Kingdom, the northeastern USA, and Europe. Now it has diffused to almost all over the world. On the basis of the system of large scale manufacturing, the world's major industrial regions may be grouped under two broad types, namely the traditional large-scale industries regions, which are thickly clustered in a few more developed countries. Next is high technology large-scale industrial regions, which have diffused to less developed countries. Industries based on inputs or raw materials. On the basis of the raw materials used, industries are classified as agro-based, mineral-based, chemical-based, and forest-based, and animal-based. So first is agro-based industries. So agro-processing involves the processing of raw materials from the field and the farm into finished products for rural and urban markets. Major agro-producing industries are food processing, sugar, pickles, fruit juices, beverages like tea, coffee and cocoa, spices and oils, fats, and textile like cotton, jute, silk, rubber, etc. Next is food processing. First is food processing under agro-based industries. So agro-processing includes canning, producing cream, fruit processing and confectionery. While some preserving techniques such as drying, fermenting and pickling have been known since ancient times, this has limited applications to cater to the pre-industrial revolution demands. Agribusiness is commercial farming on industrial scale, often financed by business whose main interests lie outside agriculture. For example, large corporations in tea plantation business. Agribusiness farms are mechanized, large in size, highly structured, reliant on chemicals, and may be described as agro factories. Next is mineral-based industries. These industries are use minerals as raw material. Some industries use ferrous metallic minerals which contain ferrous or iron, such as iron and steel industries, but some use non-ferrous metallic minerals such as aluminium, copper and jewelry industries. Many industries use non-metallic minerals such as cement and pottery industries. Next is chemical-based industries. Such industries use natural chemical minerals, that is mineral oil like petroleum is used in petrochemical industry. Salts, sulfur and potash industries also use natural minerals. Mineral industries are also based on raw materials obtained from wood and coal. Next is synthetic fiber, plastic and etc. are other examples of chemical based industries. Next is forest based raw material using industries. So the forests provide many major and minor products which are used as raw material. Timber for furniture industry, wood, bamboo and grass for paper industry, lac for lac industries come from forest. Next is animal based industries. Leather for leather industry and wool for woolen textiles are obtained from animals. Besides, ivory is also obtained from elephants' tusks. Next is industries based on output or product. So you have seen some mechanics, machines and tools made of iron and steel. The raw material for such machines and tools is iron and steel, which is itself an industry. The industry whose products are used to make other goods by using them as raw material are basic industries. Can you identify the link? So iron and steel from forms the machines for textile industry. So these machines also make clothes for use by consumers. So the consumer good industries produce goods which are consumed by consumers directly. For example, industries producing breads and biscuits, tea, soaps and toiletries paper for writing, televisions, etc. are consumer goods or non-basic industries. So next point is industries based on ownership. First is public sector industries. Public sector industries are owned and managed by governments. In India, there were a number of public sector undertakings. Socialist countries have many state-owned industries. Mixed economies have both public and private sector enterprises. Next is private sector industries. Private sector industries are owned by individual investors. These are managed by private organizations. In capital countries, industries are generally owned privately. Next is joint sector industries are managed by joint stock companies, or sometimes the private and public sectors together establish and manage the industries. Can you make a list of such industries? Next point is concept of high technology industry. High technology, or simply high tech, is the latest generation of manufacturing industries. It is best understood as the application of intensive research and development efforts leading to manufacture of products of an advanced scientific and engineering character. Next is professional or white collar workers make up a large share of the total workforce. These highly skilled specialists greatly outnumber the actual production or blue collar workers. So robotics on the assembly line, computer aided design or CAD, and manufacturing, electronic controls of smelting and refining processes, and the constant development of new chemical and pharmaceutical products are notable examples of a high tech industry. Neatly spaced, low and modern, dispersed office plant lab buildings rather than massive assembly structures, factories and storage areas mark the high-tech industrial landscape. Planned business park for high-tech startups have become a part of regional and local development schemes. High-tech industries, which are regionally concentrated, self-sustained and highly specialized, are called technopolis. The Silicon Valley near San Francisco and Silicon Forest near Seattle are some examples of technopolis. Are some technopolis developing in India? So manufacturing contributes significantly to the world economy. Iron and steel, textiles, automobiles, petrochemicals and electronics are some of the world's most important manufacturing industries. So thank you for listening. Keep listening for the further audio classes. This is for today. Thank you.